Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I thought it was about time I made a video on this topic, because if you've been following me on Instagram or you've seen any of my recent videos over the last couple of months, then you'll know that I haven't stopped banging on about the 40mm focal length, but in particular this little guy. This lens, the Sony 40mm 2.5G lens, a lens that pretty much hasn't left my camera over the last 6 months. So let's go back to last year when I was sitting in this office procrastinating a hell of a lot, as I do on a daily basis when I've got stuff to do, when I came across the metadata tab on the Lightroom library, which led me down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out what focal length do I shoot the majority of my images at. To my surprise, I couldn't believe that a huge chunk of my Lightroom library was shot there or there around the 40mm mark. Now 40mm isn't exactly a traditional focal length, but things have changed a lot over the last couple of years and there's a lot more options available nowadays. We're way more used to seeing 35 and 50 thrown around, but the 40mm seems to sit in this perfect sweet spot, especially for my photography personally. It's wide enough but without being too wide, which I find when I shoot at 35mm, and it's tight, but not as restrictive as 50mm sometimes can be. So I really like the look of this scene with the straight lines of the two buildings and then that pocket of light that comes out of the road. The contrast between the highlights and the shadows is super nice. Just need to wait for a subject to get in behind this building here. Get a nice silhouette of them. So I've just come to the opposite side of the road of where I was shooting. I was just shooting at this restaurant here, looking this way, and across the road, had a look. And I really like the colour of this building and all the madness with the wires. So we'll try and see if we can get a silhouette, a bike like that, or a taxi like this. That would have done nicely. So I know exactly what you're probably already thinking. 35mm is only 5mm off 40mm, not that much of a big deal, right? But it actually makes quite a difference when you are shooting wider because everything is emphasized. 40mm to me personally seems to sit at this perfect sweet spot and produces this incredibly pleasing field of view that just seems to go hand in hand with shooting everyday moments. Personally, I think it's way more flexible than 50mm because of the cameras nowadays being such high resolution, you still have that ability to crop in. Oh, there's another one. Like London buses, they all come at once. Been standing here ages. So I say this all the time about the light in Japan. I don't know what it is, but even in the harshest of summer days, it looks lovely. So this was the car that I was just shooting, and I've just walked around the corner and I've seen this little frame here. The straight lines from the buildings framing the car perfectly, and then the contrast between the highlights and the shadows where the sun is just teeming down that street. I don't know why. A real simple frame, but it's just good for my OCD, I think. So it looks like I've made a friend. I really like this composition here. We've got this beautiful yellow wall. That staircase is sick. You've got these like
green windows or like paneling, and then there's an arrow that's pointing down. You've got this lovely patch of light at the moment as well. So I'm shooting at 40mm. That's a bit of a problem because it's quite tight, and there's this pole in the way as well. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get any of that in. So I might just concentrate on this part of the frame here, try and frame someone within that light. I might shoot a little bit wider and then get some of that pole in, or some of this advertising boards over here, and then just crop it out in post. We'll see, but that is a clean frame.
So I could have just set the 24-70 that I already owned to 40mm and saved myself a heap of cash. But when paired with a smaller camera like this, the Sony a7C II or a7CR, it's quite front heavy on there and makes it quite uncomfortable when you're shooting for longer periods of time. I also really enjoy the sort of restrictions and limitations that you get when shooting with prime lenses. It forces you to think outside the box when you're in the field. And I think that's just another factor of why I've been enjoying this setup so much over the last couple of months. It's been really refreshing to use, and it's made me want to get outside and take photos and have a camera on me at all times where I previously wouldn't have probably have took one. And I think that's the most important thing with gear, is having something that inspires you to go out and take photos. For someone like myself that's been trying really hard to prioritize portability and weight and all of that jazz over the last couple of months, having a camera on me at all times that doesn't weigh me down or is a burden to have on me at all times is a massive win.
So I was actually at this location when I came through my luggage earlier. Unfortunately, it's in the shade now, but we'll see what we can do. I don't know what it is about this place, but I'm already in love with it. I think it's all the straight lines and the little nooks and crannies in the alleyways. I didn't know it was possible to sweat from the places that I'm sweating from. It's dripping out of everywhere. Everyone's sweat rags from the household out to dry. I could do one of those right now. I just love that little K-car poking out the side of that building. That was potluck. I just saw the guy reverse in. Must be finishing up for the day. So good.
I have to admit, initially I was incredibly skeptical about moving from Sony's, you know, flagship G Master lenses over to a Sony G lens, but I haven't noticed any major drop in image quality at all. This lens is sharp, incredibly sharp. The bokeh is smooth, maybe not as refined as what a Sony G Master lens produces, but for someone like myself who really shoots wide open at f2.5, it's not that much of a big deal for me. I think when you consider its size, its form factor, and that it's the fraction of a cost of a G Master lens, this little guy wins all day long for me. While the build quality isn't as premium as the G Master lenses, it still feels incredibly solid in the hand with its aluminium alloyed finish. It's weather sealed as well, and I've taken it through an array of weather conditions over the last couple of months and had no problems at all with it. It has all of the features that you'd expect in a prime lens: a manual focus ring and aperture ring, a focus mode switch to toggle between autofocus and manual focus, and a tailored customizable button that tailors to your workflow. And not to mention the autofocus, it's absolutely incredible when paired with one of Sony's newer bodies. It's fast, reliable, and rarely misses a beat.
An issue I always seem to face in Japan is when I'm trying to get a subject come into the scene. People are so polite that they think that you don't want them in it, and they just stop, and then they wait for you, and then you have to let the opportunity pass. Happens all the time. Here's another one of those really clean frames with the lines of the walls. I'm using this wall here to block out the noise from this building. The little car hanging out the garage there. We've got a bike here. Just need to get something in here and we'll be good to go. That was really nice. Dude just cycled straight towards me. I wish I'd have took that landscape, to be fair.
So, as wonderful as the images are that this lens produces, having a lens that's small, lightweight, and forces you to see things differently due to the limitations of just shooting at 40mm has completely changed the way I approach my photography over the last 6 months. Having this lens paired with the A7C II has made me want to carry my camera everywhere I go, and I think that is the biggest win, having gear that inspires you to go out and shoot. So if you're in the market for a portable prime lens that's perfect for everyday use, then the Sony 40mm 2.5G lens is absolutely worth considering. It's also available in 50mm and 24mm. Anyway, I hope that was of use and you've enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.